Welcome everybody to a live stream! Yay! We made it to 1,000 videos.
1,000 videos, Russ. Can you believe it?
It is bonkers. I can't tell if it is an accomplishment or a sign of insanity. You guys let us know in the comments below.
Or maybe a little bit of both.
Right. So I think for the special occasion, Laura will ring our cowbell. Yay, 1,000!
Yeah, our freebie cyclocross cowbell that we ring when we achieve a big milestone, which I think it's fair to say 1,000 videos is a big milestone.
It is. I was hoping by the time we got to 1,000 videos that we'd also have 100,000 subscribers. Not going quite at the rate that I'd hope.
It just means we get to throw you 2 parties.
That's true. It's an excuse for 2 birthday parties, basically.
Yay!
I think in some ways maybe getting to 1,000 is a lot harder than getting to 100,000 subscribers.
Well, for sure, because you put in all the time to make 1,000 videos. Film them, edit them, post them.
Right.
Edit out all of my and start overs and yes. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Russ. And
team effort. Team effort.
Yeah. I can kind of take some credit, but you did the work, bulk of the work. So tonight we thought we would celebrate by taking a little bit of a walk down memory lane. Show some clips from some long forgotten.
Yeah, hopefully not too cringeworthy. I mean, I did select these, so but I don't think you've watched a lot of these videos in a while. So
no, the ones from the way back I probably haven't seen in years. Yeah. So yeah, so I think it'll be kind of fun. We're gonna play some of those clips and I don't know. Kind of mock them, I guess, right. Or
we're gonna react to our old videos.
Tell some behind the scenes stuff.
Over 1,000 videos. If you guys have, I see there are a ton of people in the chat, lots of familiar faces, lots of Patreon supporters. Armando, Andy from Bello Studio, Bike Sauce, Rob Davidson, awesome. Steve Fuller, nice. Eric Fenner, yay!
Thanks everybody.
It's like a party amongst friends, like a COVID internet party.
It is.
Yeah. But before we do start, I do want to thank our Patreon supporters. I mean, it's in no small way, you know, making these videos is made possible by your support. Because if we relied on AdSense, it would just not happen at all. Like literally not happen at all.
Well, and beyond just the financial aspect of it, I think that really kept you going.
It did.
When you were here all by yourself, talking into a camera. Knowing that there were that many of you out there watching. Yeah,
I actually started Patreon at kind of a low point in terms of the channel. Like I think we had hit about 30,000, making no money, and I was just starting to feel like really discouraged by the process. And then I was like, screw it, I'm gonna start a Patreon page and see if anyone signs up at all. A lot of people did right away, which was awesome. And then we've had more people, and it's made it so that we can make some videos. I don't want to oversell it, but thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. And if you guys are on the fence, I don't think we've ever shared what the Patreon supporters get at the $7 level. Ideally, we'd want you to join the Patreon because you love the videos, and this is just icing on the cake. But I think these are some pretty awesome discounts. I mean,
they really are. I mean, these are friends of ours in the industry, big and small, that that appreciate the voice here and and so we're happy to support us by supporting you all. So take advantage of them.
Yeah. So those are the perks. In case you're curious, again, I'd love it if you didn't sign up just for the perks, but because you do believe in the channel, and the perks are just icing. But I think at $7 a month, that is good value.
That is very good value. It is indeed.
Let's see. We've got some notes here. All right. So I think what we'll do is jump into some really, really old videos, and then we can see how things have progressed.
So Russ, do you remember when you started this YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, I started the YouTube channel about 12 years ago, a little bit after, or a little bit before Pathless Pedaled even.
Right.
So we've had the YouTube channel for 12 years. I've taken it seriously as a platform just 3 or 4 years, like when we moved to Montana.
Right, or right before. Yeah.
Basically, we moved to Montana. Lori got a job with Adventure Cycling, and I did some initial queries to see if I could get some freelance work here in Missoula, and it was like crickets. So.
And you had all this time on your hands.
Yeah,
so...
sitting by myself, stuck inside because of the snow.
In the worst winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the YouTube channel was kind of, I wouldn't say forced upon me, but in some ways it was forced upon me.
I think if anything, you forced it upon yourself.
That's true.
To give yourself something to do. So
yeah.
I applaud that.
Cool. So I'm going to peek in the chat. Thank you, Mitch Albright. So many cool. Hey, Guthrie Straw, our friend here from Portland. Chris Power says more cowbell. Don. Yay! Cool. So I've got all sorts of technology I'm going to juggle, but I think what we're going to do is go and watch one of the very first kind of bike-related videos I ever posted. You can see it's a little bit grainy. This is, I think I recorded this at like 480p. A little bit of background. We were living in Long Beach at the time.
I literally, when you pulled this up to test it, I like gasped because I haven't seen this view in a very, very 11 years, very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually shot this video using a friend's borrowed camcorder. Our friend Tanya, who's working at Terry's camera shop in Long Beach at the time. And I won't play the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll play all of this just because it's so nostalgic. But you can see the seeds of YouTube. So let's watch it.
Back when you were very earnest still.
Yeah. Very serious video. Look at that. It looks so young. That's okay.
Giant camera there. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that's our old apartment in Long Beach.
Not everyone
That is Mike's gymnastics right there.
He's rocking cycle. If you guys don't know the back history as a photographer, was very important for bicycles. Lift in.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so moody.
I know. So many feels. Look at that Belgian bell. This was, what was this? This was maybe 07, 06.
Oh, well, if it was 12 years ago, it would have been 08.
Yeah.
Just do some maths, but.
So turn mics up. Okay.
Can you hear us over the videos?
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us over the video. So this is when like it was just like peak New Belgium bike fun, or getting there.
Can you move the?
Oh, can't hear me, Russ. Oh no! Can you hear us? Hello? Okay, well we'll go through this.
Too quiet. Oh my goodness. If you can't hear me, I'm over here snorting with laughter.
So apologies for being super serious with these edits. All right, you can hear us now. I'm turning down the movie. There's a delay in all this, so we're just trying to make it happen. Okay. Oh, so I can't watch it. It's just so dang earnest.
Wait, you have to just like leave it there?
Like, why am I standing on the bench?
Oh, it's amazing.
I think I was going for the silhouette of man and his bicycle. I mean,
Oh my
I
gosh.
think that's it.
So just, I think you should just pause it right here because
Yeah.
that I think that just shows right there how far you've come.
Right. One would hope. So Derek, the music is by Devendra Banhart, and this video is probably going to be totally demonetized as I play clips from these old videos. So hopefully we've sorted out the sound. Apologies again. It's hard to diagnose when live. Should we see what happens next?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see.
Karate Kid.
Oh.
Oh, sad Russ.
Oh.
Wow. Where are you? I don't even remember that bridge.
That's a bridge to the Queen. Oh no, that's the bridge to the Queen Mary.
Why are you?
I don't know. It just seemed like the thing to do.
Because it's a moody bridge. It's
Yeah.
a very moody shot. Oh. Sun flares and everything.
Yeah. So I feel like
Oh man.
there were some nuggets of goodness in there.
Well, you can really tell now watching that video was not your medium.
Right.
That you were, I mean, it is true. You were a stills photographer, and so these are epic stills, and then you stitched them all together.
Yeah. Cool. Dang. Don reading the
Wow.
blog back in 0708. That's old school.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So that was probably one of the very first kind of really bike-oriented videos on the YouTube channel. There's a couple of videos there from my work as a freelance photographer. So one of the other things that I thought was interesting looking back is we actually documented all the getting rid of everything when we did our first trip. And when we left Long Beach, we actually had a party, like a farewell party. And we had a bunch of friends show up, and we had a friend play guitar and everything. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but this is one thing I do appreciate about making videos, is a good way to kind of capture those times.
For sure. For sure.
So farewell Long Beach.
Oh man.
One of the other problems.
So this is right before we were going to sell everything and go on
I think this was the night before we left.
the night before we left. Yeah, it's such a cool moment to capture. This is our friend Chris Quint, who introduced me to Rivendell. And this was in Long Beach. What was the name of the building? Was it the Cooper Arms or one of the historic buildings there? So anyway, so we had a good farewell party. One of my favorite things, however, is our friend Ryan, who
was just here.
who was
This
just
is
in
crazy.
town, was there, gave a little speech. Our friend Jenny sang a song.
Carrie didn't weigh anything.
Yeah.
The volume's really low on this.
Oh, yeah. It's also, she sang probably one of my most favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try not to cry.
So this is when the technology of SlideShare was a thing, where you would have like slow motion Ken Rockwell pans, or what's the guy that does a documentary? Not Ken Rockwell. Ken Burns.
blanking, that one.
Ken Burns.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a neat video if you guys want to see, our friends and our good farewell party.
And sort of the start of it all, man. Like way back when we were still earnest travelers, gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what we were gonna find out there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So another video in the Wayback Machine. This is a video that we shot in kind of the early days of our 3-year travel. You folks that are in PDX are going to enjoy this. If I can drag it on here.
Technology.
There it is. Okay, this is in much simpler times, and I'm so glad I recorded this because it's like a snapshot of bike culture at the time.
Yeah, bikey culture that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. I'm so elated, ecstatic. I thought maybe a dozen people would show up, and I don't know how many we have, but I think we're about 20 to 24. And Russ had asked me why would I choose to move by bike, And basically, I'd heard other people do it. I'm moving into a house with Stephanie and Ed and Emily, and they've all moved into that house by bike. So they sort of set a tradition. I don't own a car, so it just seems natural for me to
So this is a, if you
try to
guys
get around
are
as much as
confused
possible
about what's
without
going on, this is a
borrowing
bike
car
move in
rides.
Portland.
So, and
This was the
plus
thing.
the main reason
Do
it's
people
fun
still
is it's
still
fun.
do bike moves?
So
I
I'm
mean,
having a good
maybe
time,
a few
even
people,
though I'm
but
totally stressed
Yeah.
out.
I feel like it was really
When I
a
think of
thing
bike
in
movers,
like
I mean,
08,
obviously we're moving the student
10,
stuff on
2010.
our bikes, but it's kind of a
I feel
celebration.
like this is like the almost like peak bikey culture in Portland before there was a little bit of a decline.
Well,
like a
before it
barn
just
raising without having to
exploded
be
in
able
to,
population.
Skillfully build anything. You just gotta help a dude settle into his new bikey paradise. He's moving into a house with 3 people who had bike moves to get there already, so it's really what I
So
did.
jump forward a little bit.
Party, and the more people who watch, I mean, I think
Man.
they just get a kick out of it, you know. And then you get to the
This was
other
fun.
end,
This
and
was
it's
fun to
amazing how
participate
fast
in.
everything gets unloaded and put in the house.
I just
and
remember
then the party
being
starts.
like,
Here we are at the
Portland's amazing, and bike people are amazing, and
to bike moves.
So much simpler times. Of course, there's beer
Beer.
at the end of every bike move.
And it's so funny to watch this with like people that we wound up being friends with when we lived in Portland, and
Yeah.
I don't think we had half an idea who they were at the time.
Yeah. So that that's one thing that's been kind of fun about the YouTube channel is we've been able to capture different snapshots of Portland bike culture around the country at just different times and watch it evolve.
For sure.
Speaking of which, this is again on that first tour, and this is when I was channeling my inner Ira Glass. So again, with the earnestness, I apologize. But
Don't apologize. This video is amazing. I still think it's one of the best things
but
ever.
you may recognize this person.
It's an operation
Should I
that trots across
skip this
them.
part?
Each bag is handmade, carefully and slowly by Martina.
So earnest.
She looks so young there.
Well, this machine is actually full of history. It is one of the old reload machines and was Kaylee's machine. She made incredible bags on this machine before I showed up. That machine has found a lot of different stitching studios. It's pretty cool. And then I was offered that machine when Ellie decided to close. With this machine, Swift would not exist.
Yeah. So if you haven't guessed who it is, it's our friend Martina from Swift Industries. And during that first big trip, we crashed at their apartment.
Yeah, she was still sewing out of their living room. I think it was just a couple of years after they'd gotten started, or maybe like a year after she'd gotten started. And she was still sewing them all.
Yeah. And what I like about this is she talks about the sewing machine. She got it from a woman that worked at Reload, and Reload now, still based in Philadelphia, is one of the Patreon business supporters. So there's this nice kind of, and so is Swift. So there's such good synergy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also like it's a fun piece to watch.
It's like every single
all the way
bag
through
that we
because
send out.
she
we
waxes
have cut the
poetic about
fabric
what it's
and
gonna
done every
what kind of a
single
business
piece
she
of
wants
it
to build.
until we close the
kinda
box.
cool.
I think every time
That's
we
kind
see
of crazy, you know.
Martina, I always bring up this video and go, so have you still stuck to your ideals that you laid out in that video? Because she's very much like, I'm not going to do credit. If we hire employees, we're going to do it, ethically, insurance, all this stuff. And I feel like she's been able to stick to her guns.
She really has.
So if you guys want to see a great video of Swift Industries in the very, very early days, definitely watch this. I might play a couple
Make
more
it
seconds.
happen. But like this happens right in this room from start to finish. That's pretty killer. And it's kind of like having our art be like transported all over the place. That's kind of how it really feels, The advertising we started with was like this totally scribbly drawing of a bicycle with panniers and a sewing machine. And on it was typed swiftindustries.wordpress.com. And I would go, Wherever I was traveling, I would go and stick it on bikes.
That's amazing.
And that's how it was born.
This is where it gets interesting.
So it's pretty cool because now like her stuff is in REI.
Yep.
You know, REI had picked it up. So this is like ground floor behind the scenes footage. It's on the YouTube channel.
It's full on time capsule.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
And this video right here is 11 years old.
Yeah. Wow. When we had set out on that trip, I had this grand vision of doing these sound slides. So recording audio interviews, you know, a la Ira Glass, and then taking and combining it with photos. And I did a couple, but turns out really hard to do in the middle of a bike tour. Turns out.
We were pretty naive at the beginning.
Yeah. All right. So what's next? Okay. So this is another video from Portland, and I like this because it has a lot of, you know, the Portland bikey folks that we used to hang out with, but it is also the first video that shows coffee outside in video format on the internet. Now it's kind of, you know, standard procedure. If you're going to shoot a bike packing film, there's going to be some coffee making going on. This, my friends, first coffee outside video on the internet. And hashtag was started by our friend Rob Prick from Motion Perspectives.
And this is probably circa 2012. Soul Booty, but not as like eager artist. So much eye candy.
I know.
You didn't happen to like stage stuff for this, did you?
That's just what they do. They always pull out masks and start looking at it. So early days of coffee outside, captured on the YouTube channel. Again, another little time capsule piece.
Yes. Yes. So many times capsules. Like when you're actually like figuring out the next video to make, do you ever like scroll back and go, look, I've come so far? Or do you just focus on gotta get another video up?
I just pretty much gotta get another video up. Have to feed the algorithm. What's cool about this is Chris, who was in the video, had started this kind of subgroup of coffee outside and called it Sunrise Coffee Club. And on some of the more ambitious gatherings, he actually made crepes. Or no, he made creme brulee. He had the little ramekins and a torch, and he was making creme brulee. I think we did it on Pittock Mansion in Portland. So a steep climb up and then creme brulee at the top.
You did. I was never willing to get up for sunrise.
That's true.
It's just not
Yeah.
not my time of day.
You know, after we wrapped up our travels, we started to transition into more kind of professional video work. I shouldn't use air quotes because they were professional.
You were professional.
And one of the videos that we made was to kind of summarize, you know, what it is we liked about bike touring and bike travel in general. So this is that video. You'll recognize the voice.
This was the start of my voiceover career.
That's true. Your very first VO gig.
What is bicycle travel? Bicycle travel isn't about the bike.
Aw, Brompton.
It's about going slowly, exploring your country and seeing it for the first time. It's about doing something you didn't think you could do before.
Is that in Montana?
Going into Glacier.
It's about riding to someplace you've never been. It's about slowly climbing a mountain,
Eastern Oregon.
then flying down the other side. It's about traveling with friends
Rio Korea.
and making new ones. It's about roadside fruit stands, or finding the best meal you've ever had, then getting seconds.
I remember that burger.
It's about getting lost to find yourself.
In case you're wondering, this is in New Zealand.
But most of all, bicycle travel is about people. Swapping stories with other travelers and laughing with the locals. Because when you travel on a bike, you can't help but smile, and people can't help but smile back. Travel by bike. Live more.
Aww.
The writing is so good.
It
It is so good.
Good job. If I remember correctly, you put this together and you tried to do your Hourglass.
That was a mistake.
And I told you it just didn't work. And it needed to be more uplifting, and you just didn't have the intonation right? And you were like, well, fine, you do it then. And then I went on to voice over a whole bunch of other videos, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, I think I was still in that very earnest young man phase.
Yeah.
And I wanted everything to be so serious, and I couldn't find the levity in it when I tried to read it. I could write it, though.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Did a good job writing.
Yeah, I think it wasn't until another year or something after this that you'd finally had it off of the earnestness, and that was about when every artist, every brand, everybody on the internet decided to put out their earnest video, and it was like, ah.
Right. Do you remember what year would that have been? When every brand was making this artisanally handmade slow motion kind of video, and I had peak artisanal. So
I feel like it was 2013, 2014, some peak artisanal.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna show another video. This one's super short, but this is another video that it was a paid job for a destination, and I like this one because you could really see the jump in skill. We had the writing down, the voiceover talent. I got a drone. I think, did I have my license for this? Yeah.
No, I think this was before you had to have a license.
No, I remember stressing. Oh.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a drone. One of the few times I bring the drone out. But this is pretty good. I like this one.
I think it's one of your favorites. I like the music.
In Klamath County, Oregon, you can ride on paved roads, gravel roads, or where there are no roads at all.
Can I just say that is such a clever turn of phrase?
Good job.
You can ride slow or fast or faster. You can ride through the countryside, up in the mountains, by the water, and around an old volcano. When you come to Klamath, your hardest decision won't be if you should bring a bike, but which bikes you should bring. Meet me in Klamath. Start your biking adventure.
Isn't that good? I still love that closer line.
I know you do.
Your hardest decision won't be if you bring a bike, but how many bikes you should bring.
Right.
So.
Yeah, this was back in the day when we would shoot everything, and then we would give it a couple of days to kind of sit in our brains, and then we would go to a bar and have a few beers and sit and noodle through the script. Yeah. And
I remember the script writing process. These nights were intense.
Yeah. It was usually it had a pretty predictable flow, where at the beginning we were just really why are we doing this again? And then you would throw out ideas and I would throw out ideas, and we would hate everybody's ideas, and then we'd really get into a groove, and then you'd hit that point where we'd have a little bit too much beer, and then it was time to go home.
All right, so let's see. And as you guys know, we do a lot of bike reviews, or I do a lot of bike reviews on the YouTube channel. I've reviewed over 60 bikes. Number is probably closer to 70 now. I can't even count how many bike bags and tools and other doodads and stuff. But it is not the refined, it didn't start out as a refined machine that you see now. So I figured I would play an older bike review just so you guys can see.
Just this screenshot.
I know.
It's like we're going back in time to the Ernest Rust days.
Yes.
Hey there everyone, it's Russ from Path Less Pedaled, and in this video I'm going to show you how to break away from the tyranny of bungees.
Tyranny!
The tyranny of bungees. Not my finest riding moment.
Well, you should be very proud, Russ, that you have learned to be more emotive.
That's true.
On camera.
I mean, doing these early reviews, the videos themselves would be probably 2-3 minutes long, but to set up the lights, write the script. At this time, I was generally reading off a script, just because I was so nervous on camera. I don't work off a script anymore. But to make 1, 2, or 3 minute video would take like 3 or 4 hours, which is bonkers.
Well, this was also this one was filmed in our old apartment in Portland, and so you were kind of filming in a hallway. So it was
it was a literal hallway.
It was a small apartment, so it was like, you definitely had to set it up and break it down.
Yeah.
Also, with the bumper.
Yeah.
I remember at the time when you put this together, and it's really very well done.
It's a good bumper.
But I always kind of thought, well, do you need that for the internet? So what did you discover about the bumper in YouTube?
That people complain. So I did a good amount of videos with the bumper. The idea was like I want branding, I want it to look flashy and pro. And I started watching more videos on like how to make good YouTube videos, and they said if you watch the analytics, in particular the audience retention, you want to see where the audience drops off, and it was always at the bumper. Like people would just drop off there, never come back. So I did away with the bumper completely. I mean, it took a while to sink in, just because I spent so much time making the dang bumper.
Yeah, you weren't quite. It was hard, I think, for you to admit that it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So as cyclists, I think we have a love-hate relationship with bungees. They're super useful for tying things down to your bike, but sometimes they're too long or not long enough, and there's always that lingering fear that they're going to undo and whack you in the face just when you're tensioning everything down. Recently,
I just have to appreciate how clean cut you are there.
Yeah.
And you look like you're going to a job interview.
Yeah. It's hard. This is hard stuff to do, guys. It looks so easy, but it's the hardest thing to be natural in the camera, be emotive, especially if you're not trained in broadcast. Like I had no broadcast background. I was a literature major. So rough, very rough in the early days. I don't even like.
I got turned on to these things. These are rock straps, and these are an awesome bungee alternative. I'd never really heard of them before, but a friend dropped them off. Apparently, they're really popular. I
can't watch it. Like I feel like I'm falling asleep right now.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Everybody has to start somewhere. I mean, I think the thing that's interesting about this is, you spent so many years behind the camera, and then starting to do YouTube, to put yourself in front of the camera, that's getting way outside your comfort zone, my friend. So
yeah, that was a big leap, and kind of recognizing that that's what had to happen to make a YouTube channel work. Like you had to be the on-screen talent, not just be the camera operator. Yeah, that was nerve-wracking early days, still to some extent, but you can tell just watching through the videos. Hopefully, you can tell like the progression. So.
And really, I mean, it's okay because at the time that you put this video out, the subscribers numbers were pretty low, and now it's buried under 800 other videos, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Bella Superb, that bike though, that's right. It's the first iteration of the Salsa Warbird, or it might be the second. First or second. No, it probably was the second.
I think it's the second.
Yeah, they had a Thai one before that.
Those are nice bikes.
Yeah, they were fun. Okay, I'm not going to make you guys suffer for the rest of the tyranny of Bungie's video, but know that things have hopefully improved. I'm going to play one of my favorite videos. This is creator's pick. You know, I kvetch about a lot about the comments, but sometimes they do lead to interesting videos. And this video I made because I was so tired of being corrected online on how to pronounce a particular word. So if you guys are fans of the channel, you know what I'm teeing up. If you're new, I'm just going to play the kind of the intro to it. But yeah, let's watch it.
Bicycling has a few internal holy wars: helmet versus no helmet, flats versus clipless, but none are as divisive as how to pronounce this word. Few words have caused me more anguish, more angry comments, and here's the thing: I don't really care how people pronounce it, but people are just so passionate and determined that it's pronounced a particular way. And it got to the point where I finally wanted to get to the bottom of this. And for me, it's not about being right or wrong, but it's about knowing what the actual truth is. And for this, I needed an expert. I sent out dozens of emails to linguists, to language professors at various universities. I looked up to see if I could find a professional etymologist, and it took weeks and weeks and weeks before I finally got this reply. None other than the people at Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, were willing to take up my case. And that is how I got to meet this man.
Sure, I'm Peter Sokolowski. I'm editor-at-large at Merriam-Webster. I used to race bicycles and I toured a certain amount. So this is a word that I was very aware of. It's just a coincidence, but I'm the French language editor. I wrote the French dictionary. So these are concerns that actually kind of intersect.
So good.
I felt like I just won the lottery. Not only was he an editor at a well-respected dictionary.
There's a point right in the keep it playing for a minute,
was
right
bilingual,
here.
He spoke French.
Your
and
face.
He was also a cyclist.
There, where you're like, yes.
I'm right. So right. Yeah. I did search far and wide. I emailed a couple of universities, or at least like a dozen universities, their English department, and tried to pitch them on this video, and no one bit. Merriam-Webster has their own YouTube channel, so I think that's why they were kind of game to indulge this video. But Peter's a super cool guy. So stoked and so lucky to find him. And I think the next montage is from The Last Sea Otter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into the history and the correct pronunciation of the word, I decided to see how the bike industry pronounces it. How do you pronounce this word?
Well, I'm an American, so I'm going to say pannier.
Pannier. Some would say pannier. Others might say panier. Choose your poison.
So he's not committing.
Yeah, not committing.
Pannier.
Pannier. I took French in high school, so that's how I thought of it, yeah.
We're going to find out.
If everybody knows what you're talking about, then you can say it pannier, panier, panois.
No, I don't say that word. I don't say it in public. I don't say it to people. I don't say it anywhere.
So that is Chris from
Topanga.
Yeah, Topanga Outpost. It was so good.
Yeah. My favorite is not this guy, but the guy that just laughs.
Go with pannier. Okay. I've said it that way for a long time, so I hope that's right-ish.
Pannier.
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 Oh, pannier. Pannier.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure now that you're asking me, but I'm sure.
Pannier.
Pannier.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
100%.
100%.
Pannier.
Pannier. Are you sure?
Pannier.
Do you say another word in place of this word?
No. I avoid any of the slightest suggestion of that word. Yeah, no. We got rid of them in the shop. We no longer acknowledge their existence. I don't say that word. I don't.
This is
even
actually
know the word.
fun
I don't
at
even
Sea
know what
Otter.
I'm talking about.
Now, where
He's
do I
my
have
favorite.
to place myself regionally in the United States? I say pannier. My favorite alternate pronunciation is panya, which would be New England.
Pannier.
Pannier.
Pannier?
No, I'm not. I don't want to pressure you.
Get it right.
Pannier.
That's your final answer.
Final answer.
I think it's going to be a pannier.
You're going to go with pannier?
I'm going to go with pannier.
Okay, pannier. So without further ado, let's learn how this word is actually pronounced.
All right, so that was probably one of my favorite videos that I've ever made.
For sure.
Insofar as, you know, actually since publishing that, like the number of comments that kind of complain about how I pronounce a word has dramatically decreased.
Because now you can just
copy paste
send the link and off they go. And yeah.
So yeah, so that is kind of the selects, if you will. I think what we're gonna do next is actually just scroll through the YouTube channel itself, just to give you guys a breadth of what we've covered, and also talk a little bit about what's with the giant bag of popcorn.
I did notice that too. It's the first time I've ever noticed that. But yeah, it was actually kettle corn, which is Russ's favorite.
It is. Yeah.
And they happen to have some at Sea Otter, so.
I miss those days. You know, the before times when you could talk to people.
Right, the before times.
Okay. So if you've ever gone to your favorite YouTuber's site, you can actually sort by their oldest videos.
Oh man.
And I'm just gonna do a quick scroll and show you guys, you know, how things have developed. So this is back when we had a website called Epicurean Cyclists. I think the tagline was "Wool twine and all things fine," and it's still essentially like how I approach bicycles. But we've got lots of cool stuff here, like this cool boat cleat hack for your saddlebag. We created a bike product at one point called the bike burrito. Let's see what happens.
Oh man, this was good.
It was inspired by Rivendell, of course. It was made by her friend Jamie.
Who is still sewing things, though not bike burritos.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry everybody, you're gonna have this song stuck in your head for the rest of eternity now. That's your old fixed gear bike, isn't it?
It is. See, I like fixed. This is my favorite part right here. You see some action.
Woo! Oh man. The things you have contributed to the bike world, Russ.
That is some product testing, yo. Damn.
Oh man.
So yeah, I used to own the domain name bikeburrito.com. I don't know who or what does it right now.
Wow.
So there's that. Then we covered a lot of early days in Long Beach bike infrastructure, early days of our tour. We did a lot of Brompton touring. Here's this. This is totally buried in the Wayback Machine.
Oh wow.
But I played around with a double chainring on the Brompton. Check this out. It's so dope. So I don't know if you check. Oh, using my foot to shift to the inner chainring. Damn.
But then how did you shift it back?
I used a stick.
So you had to stop and.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. So lots of wacky hacks, stuff that we've been doing for a long time. But as the channel grew, I started to do more reviews, more interviews, a couple more vignette things. You can see there was a time when I was trying to make really super formal thumbnails. I think I was trying to copy GCN.
I think this was at the beginning. This was like, I'm gonna do YouTube and I'm gonna wear that outfit like I'm going for an interview and it's gonna be good. And you dropped that pretty quick, didn't you?
Yes. But if you go back to the YouTube channel, I mean, it's such a cool snapshot of things. Like this one over here, this Coffee and Bikes in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Super awesome bike shop called The Wheelhouse that is no longer. This video here, just to the right of it, is LA River Camp Coffee, run by our friend Aaron. So early days of that. Just so many cool nuggets. What else is there? So then we did some adventures in Lodi. This is the first time I think I tried to vlog. I was using a phone and editing on just the phone.
Because that was when we took Amtrak all the way down from Portland to Lodi, and then I remember you editing on your phone on the train, and it kind of worked.
And then you can see starting to get more formal with the reviews. Again, a change in the thumbnails. I still suck at thumbnails. It was like my weakness.
I like that this is like,
basket
bringing
life,
color.
Talking about basket packing before it was cool. Yes. What else? And we did some videos about our favorite rides. So one of our favorite rides of all time was this route in San Luis Obispo. So we started experimenting with kind of just narrated ride videos. First trip to Tucson. What else is there? Transit cycles in their old space. We did a shop visit of Ravello, which is one of the first and only official Rivendell dealers, and they've since closed. So this is kind of a great time capsule of what that used to be. Northern Cycles, this awesome rando shop in Portland, also closed, but we got to record that. Bisbee Bicycle Brothel.
Oh man.
This just amazing museum of vintage bikes, and Ken there is just like a font of knowledge when it comes to bikes and bike history.
Yes.
I think it closed down and it opened. Now he's closing it for good. Bicycle Nomad Cafe, Cycle to Go in, this was Phoenix or?
Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. I think the only shop visit that we didn't do that I regret not doing is Velocult.
That's true.
Yeah, because that was such an awesome spot, and I feel
we didn't ever even think about it because we just spent so much time there.
Yeah, it's just been lost to history.
We had our regular bar stools.
Yeah. What else? Gladys Bikes with Leah Benson, the first opener and person to operate it. Interviewed her. Safety Pizza. We broke the news on the Safety Pizza. Gifted to us by I think it was Manny who did it. Sugar Wheelworks back when Jude ran it.
Man.
So if anything, one thing I love about our YouTube channel is that it's just such a great kind of a repository of old bikey things.
Yeah, and most of it is all on the West.
Yeah.
Just for happenstance of where we've lived in the last few years and been able to travel reasonably easy too.
Yeah.
We had all these great plans to go east this summer, and then this little virus came along. But
right.
one day it'll get fleshed out with a few more places from other parts of the country.
Yeah. You can see we got a review here of the Salsa Cutthroat, 88,000 views. So this is about the time I started taking bike reviews pretty seriously. And like I mentioned, I've personally ridden and reviewed over 60 bikes.
And you started with the ones that we had, the friends' bikes, things like that.
Yeah.
So
I think the first year when I went all in on bike reviews, I reviewed 39 bicycles in like 3 or 4 months, and it was bonkers.
It was bonkers driving you to the UPS and the FedEx places all summer to return those boxes.
Yeah.
Giant boxes.
Then we moved to Montana. This row of thumbnails, you can see I started doing this thing called PLP Talks, which was interviews with people that we knew, trying to be creative to make content during the winter, because obviously we couldn't ride as much, but running the channel still had to make content. So we've got Kurt Refsnyder, Sarah Swallow, Jay Peterberry, the Nams, follow up with Martina. She's been on the channel a bunch of times. Benedict, Ultra Romance, Ron, Ultra Dynamic, I don't know, whatever he's going by. Bobby Wintle, who started what's it called? yeah, district bikes and runs at Mid-South, Whitney Fort Terry, you know, the folks at Spoken Hostel, and and interspliced between that is fat bike videos.
Good stuff. And there were a few series that you did that you.
Yeah, this one was your fault. Couch to Kansas.
I take full responsibility.
So if you guys don't know or aren't aware, we did attempt Dirty Kansas, and our friend Toby DePaw had started the hashtag Couch to Kansas, and I emailed him. And I was like, man, that's awesome. Can we make a video series using that and have your blessing? He said yes. So that's how that was born. And we basically documented our training through Dirty Kansas, you know, the expo, and then the eventual result. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You should watch it. So you can make that 50 cents. Or not even that, or 2 cents.
Then there's the Bikes and Bourbon days.
Yeah, Bikes and Bourbon. This is when our friend Toffer was not gainfully employed yet, so we could do a lot of day drinking, which we did. Yeah, and then we've got interview with Jan Hein. What else? Start to really dig deep into gravel bikes. You know, this was when I think GCN was like, gravel bikes, are they cool? You know, we're like, damn, they are the future. So yeah, dug deep there, made lots of content around that. What else?
I like the diversity in thumbnail images.
Yeah, this is where
some of them are very
I
nice,
don't know.
and some of them are
it'll do
scrawly and
yeah. I suck at thumbnails. Don't take me as an example for thumbnails. But you can see a ton of bike reviews. We had our friend Daniel from Tumbleweed come out, some bike packing stuff. I think we did a couple videos on the Ochika Overlander. And pretty much,
dang.
Yeah, in 2019 I was making about 2.5 videos a week. In 2020, especially with COVID and everything, it's up the average to 3 to 4 videos a week, which is a lot.
It is a lot. I continue to be impressed with your dedication and commitment, and the ideas.
And yeah, who knew? 1,000 different video ideas just about bikes, and not even hardly any of them about racing. So again, got lazy with the thumbnails. Was like, bitch, big yellow font. That should work. What else? So then I'm gonna move through. Man, there's a lot of videos. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I love this. Our most supple bike award. You're not an official bike media entity unless you have your own award with laurels. So if you look at this thumbnail over here, I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can do it twice as good. I'm going to put double the laurels. And then we came up with some controversial videos, like the SRAM hack they don't want you to see, which is...
I think this was like another winter of like, it's cold outside.
That's when Cave with Bad Ideas started.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it was like snow and then ice and then snow and then ice and cold and
And then we got a chance to escape for a little bit.
That was nice.
And then
the sun and the warmth in the before times.
In the before times, right. A string of videos when we were in Arizona, and then the COVID happened. And then you can tell things just changed. That's actually, if anything, COVID started, helped facilitate ACN. You know, I was stuck at home trying to reach for content. And I reached out to Eric and Michael from Locked In and was like, hey, do you guys want to do a live stream and see where this goes? And I think after the live stream, we kept on talking for another hour and a half. And it was just a communal bitch fest about being a bike YouTuber. And we're like, you know, we should do this as a weekly show. So that's how that all started. And then, eventually, I still wanted to do ACN, but it didn't seem right that it should be on our channel only. So we all agreed to have, start from scratch, basically, and have it on its own channel. And ACN is happening tomorrow, by the way. We're going to do a group review of the Poseidon Redwood. And then, as they say, I think the rest is history. 1,000 videos.
Yeah, man. And you're not stopping, right? There will be 1,001, 1,002, etc. We'll see.
Oh yeah, one of the video series that we didn't talk about was you getting your breadwinner.
That's true.
That was the most expensive video that we ever made.
It was worth it.
It's for a good cause.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been talking about doing coming back to that also, because I still love it. People ask you that all the time, and I still love
they're like, "What do you think of Laura's bike?" I was like, "I don't know. It's her bike. I actually haven't ridden it." Yeah. So we're at video 1,000. There's a ton more. I'd be curious. We'll hang on for a little bit longer. What has been your favorite video amongst this 1,000? Super curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah, for sure. And where should it go from here?
Yeah.
What do you want to see more of? Ooh. Danger.
Let's see. Don says, "Bring back the whiskey." Steve Fuller, in agreement.
We might have to do that before, if we're stuck here for a little bit this winter, because it is going to snow this weekend. So.
Yeah. So Peppermint P asked what happened to Toffer. Well, he's a family man, and he got a job, and just couldn't day drink anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
Yeah.
Karina asks, have we ever? Yeah, we've chatted with Henry Wildberry. We actually met him and Miss Cools when we did that art show in Oakland at Lucky Duck.
Yeah.
Was that Lucky Duck, right?
Yep.
Yes. I would love to have him on the show. I think we're of the same cut of the same cloth. So Kevin says, love the trip videos and general ride content. Yeah, we've been a little thin on those recently, just because of the winter.
Well, I mean, we did a lot this summer.
We did.
But we also we were trying to do this thing called vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
So Peppermint asks more alternative clothing reviews. Yeah, the Target. If you guys don't know what she's referring to, we did a video where we're like, okay, cycling clothes are expensive. Let's see if we can come up with a cycling kit from Target.
I'm still amazed that we managed to wander all over Target and film things, and nobody was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's kind of like around the birth of the Floopy Flappy period of Pathless Pedal.
Right.
Let's see. So Rob, Painters was his favorite. Sean, yeah, we might address the tiny triangle in tomorrow's ACN. Bike fishing.
Yeah.
Yep. Andrew says, sew your own bag series. Laura, you know me. How well do you think that would go?
So we've actually talked about that. I mean, you pitched it to Martina like a sew off, right? I don't think you'd be able to finish a bag. I'm sorry.
No.
But my sewing machine would not handle bag fabric.
Yeah.
So there's that. But you also I
don't have the patience. I mean,
yeah.
I have many skills and talents to some extent, but sewing is not one of them.
No.
And patience is not one of them. Let's see. So yeah, it was awesome to get Jan. I think that's, I don't want to say before he blew up, but definitely before he got more attention. We just keep breaking, all the cool bikey stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Couch to Kansas too. So in our last in the summary video of C to K, I said probably stupidly, when if this video hits 50,000 views, we'll do it again. And
I remember when you did that because I was like, wait, what? Why are you saying that?
I should have put a statute of limitations. What I really meant, just to clarify, in case you're curious, is if it hits 50,000 within that that calendar year, which it did not. But now I keep getting, people still comment on that video. It's like, oh, it's 50,000. You're gonna write it. So Steve, Grant Peterson, yes, Grant is on the list. I gotta work on that. I'd love to have him on, especially now that I am a Rivendell owner. What is your dream? I don't know, do you have any dreams for the channel?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of more of your dream.
Well, it's it's a job. It's kind of, I guess I'd like, I've mentioned this before, but I'd love to do like a no reservation style bike travel video. With the plague, that's kind of put a kibosh on travel. Yeah. But I would love to do more stuff overseas. So like go to Europe, go to Asia, go to South America, and make content there. Because I'm sure they have awesome bike shops and gravel rides and everything. So to take the format that we do now and kind of take it worldwide.
Yeah, I'd be in for that.
Yeah. Dream location.
Ooh. Chile?
Chile. Love to go to Spain, Portugal. I've heard really good things about Slovenia. In terms of gravel and also fly fishing.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a super under the radar fly fishing destination. So
well, cool.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Charles, more bike birding content.
I'm sure it's coming.
It's coming.
It's funny. So we have a little park that's like right there, and we've walked out there most evenings since you got into birding.
Yeah.
And this summer it was like a great place to be because there were just birds everywhere, and now that it's hailing and 40 degrees outside and getting ready to snow, there's no birds anymore.
Yeah. There's bears.
There are bears.
There's a neighborhood Facebook group called Missoula Bears that gives the wildlife update for the area. And what they say, there are like 25 active...
25 black bears roaming around our neighborhood.
Right. So that's a lot of bears.
Kind of bonkers.
Yeah.
But, so yes, there will be more bike birding. We just have to go someplace where it's not winter.
Yeah.
Or wait till it's not winter.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think I'm going to take it home here. Thanks so much for indulging us for an hour.
Congratulations again, Russ.
Yay! I'm crazy. So crazy.
It is an accomplishment, crazy or not.
Yeah.
Good job.
I do want, to put this all in context, every single bike review that I've done has been unpaid, $0. I take the editorial side of the bike review pretty seriously. So to keep this content coming, we lean a lot on the Patreon crew, AdSense to some extent, but also selling stuff like patches and pins. So when I do that kind of, call to action in the video, think of that as our mini commercial to keep this content coming. Because we have no major sponsor, and I don't want to complain about it because it's been largely by choice.
That's for sure.
We've had this discussion a lot. It's like, well, should we get a channel sponsor? Maybe we could do more things. But then at the same time, we don't want our hands tied, and we want to be able to turn on the dime, so to speak. So.
Yeah, I think you've built something pretty great here, and happy to be a part of it. Small, quiet part of it.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone. Thank you to our Patreon folks that are in the chat. See you. See Brian, Armando. Who else? Oh, Tomas. Yay! Congrats on your new house.
Yes.
So definitely look for more content. In fact, you guys probably have seen the premiere of the video tomorrow. It's talking about fall cycling clothing. And then on Monday, or this weekend, I'm going to make more videos. And Monday, I'm going to make more videos.
And the machine churns on.
Yes, does not stop. But I do have some fun things coming on the channel. Since I made that minimalist shoe video, a couple of brands have reached out to collab with the shoe, but also to send their on what they think is a good minimalist flat pedal shoe. So that's kind of exciting. And yeah, well, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you again so much for indulging our 1,000 video. I was hoping the 100,000 subscriber mark would come first.
We'll celebrate that too.
Yeah, every channel grows different. In some ways, this is, reminds me a lot of like grade school growing up. Insofar as I was not the fastest person, I was not the brightest person, but I could work really, really, really hard. That's what I think 1,000 videos is a testament to. So, all right. Laura's like, it's okay. You don't suck that bad. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. And until next time, keep the supple side down. And finish and broadcast.